baby Purplekiss data 별빛에 물든 세상이.
What can I say other that these girls have impressed me so much this year? From their music to their vocals to their performances, these girls are hitting it on all cylinders. I'm a sucker for a good voice, and I'm glad they found a way to incorporate their very interesting vocals into a whole array of songs. From the heavy metal influence that my.st had, all the way into the fun pop track that is Zombie, all of their songs have been interesting in their own rights, and all of them have showcased their vocals in very interesting ways as well. I remember watching a cover of some of them pre-debut and thinking, wow, these girls are seriously impressive, so I was really excited to see them pull off a vocal-heavy title track for their debut. It was a truly interesting song driven forward by the girls' voices even more, and I like the somewhat eerie feeling that it gave off, and I think the girls did a good job of embodying that side of the song in their own ways. Meanwhile, Zombie is a much more upbeat track, driven more by the catchy chorus that gets stuck in your head no matter how hard you try. It's really just a fun, funky pop song, and I think it's a really solid first comeback. Every time these girls have a new release, it's different from the last while still sounding like a Purplekiss track, and all of it leaves me on the edge of my seat waiting for more. Seriously, cannot wait to see what these girls have in store for us. I can tell they have so much more to show. From 20, aka Kwon, used to be a member of Big Star until the disbandment in 2019. Recently, him and another idol, Eunbi from the group In Fact, along with a fashion designer named Solju, have created their own company and labeled it the Figure Club. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of In Fact and was really only here for Eunbi, despite knowing he probably wouldn't be able to release much music since he is still under his own company, but needless to say, I have found an absolute gem in From 20's music. From the name itself all the way down to his music, everything about his presence in the music scene this year has been about him reminiscing about his 20s. Whether it be relationships, love, or just his career itself, all of his music have been a little piece of his life up until now, which give all of his songs this almost aching, nostalgic feel to them. Secrets in You was his debut single and was basically about him reaching out to old friends, saying he's changed and grown up since then and wonders if they have too. Asking if they're still haunted by the things that used to scare them, and saying that even with how much he's changed, he's still scared to ask them these questions because of how different he's sure they all are now. They've all grown up. It's a very sad and heartfelt song about growing up and moving on, and I think this debut single was a great representation about what his music is all about. His music has impressed me so much, even though he already has enough songs to create a full album. I cannot wait to see more from him and where his music will go now that he isn't in his 20s anymore. Two debuts who, I'll admit, I was more excited for the members than anything, however, both still managed to surprise me in different ways. Although neither debut was perfect, they still managed to capture my attention. Having Yongguk make his debut back into the music scene by producing two Just Be songs was definitely the right move for both of them. He has a pretty distinctive style when it comes for writing for groups, and even I'm impressed you can feel it on another group. And while I'll admit Getaway sounded like a rejected BAP song, although to be fair, it just made me love it even more, I think Damage had a good mix of Yongguk's own expertise as well as that classic 4th gen sound. It really is a song that fits in while still standing out. It easily has one of the most intense drops this year while still showing a softer side and sound throughout the rest of the track. Although I did have some concerns after the initial debut, namely their vocals. Between Bane and Ganyu, they really are a force to be reckoned with, and I was really hoping they wouldn't throw that away to have that heavy EDM sound that a lot of boy groups go for nowadays. But so far, I think they found a happy medium between the melodic parts, powered by the vocals, as well as the hard-hitting chorus. On to Omega X. Honestly, from the teasers alone, I was sure I was going to absolutely hate whatever they were going to release. Having members from groups like One Team, Inoi, 1the9, SSE, Snooper, and even Limitless, the sound they were going for was exactly nothing like anything any of these groups had released before. Even the 4th gen groups in that lineup had either debuted before that switch in the 4th gen music or simply stayed true to the 3rd gen sound of boy groups. So this heavy and loud sort of sound looked awkward on them to say the least. However, once I heard the song in its entirety, it was actually really good in my opinion. I do like this EDM sound that so many groups go for nowadays, but with so many of these guys coming from groups with their own sounds, I was really hoping to get something similar. Needless to say, this was not the platonic love or cheeky title that I was hoping for, but honestly, I still think they managed to pull it off well. There are a few of them that I couldn't even begin to imagine with a concept like this, and yet somehow they embodied the sound and style perfectly. Now that they've captured people's attentions though, I would like to see them try a different sound. For however much I do like the sound and style on them, Younger is still by far my favorite track, and I would love to see them try something like that again. The first time I heard Gotya, it was, at best, a good song. It was a solid debut with a cute teen crush concept, and I liked it, but that was it. Fast forward a few days, and suddenly I'm listening to it upwards of 30 times a day. This song is like my drug. One taste was all it took for me to become a whole addict, and suddenly, even if I'm not listening to it, I'm thinking about it. From the cute hook in the chorus to the powerful vocals in the verses, everything about this song leaves me wanting more. Yet my favorite thing about this song is how it really does feel like a debut. It's a solid song, yet it shows off only half of what these girls are capable of. It leaves so much to be desired and so much to look forward to in the best way possible. And I feel like their first comeback fresh has only proved my point. I mean, isn't that what a debut is supposed to be? Just a small look into what is in store? These girls are so talented, but they have some growing to do, and I am so excited to watch them grow. My only complaint would be that it is just a single. So far, both their releases have been just singles, and while they have gotten lucky up to this point, I don't know how far to push that luck. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because I know they come from a smaller company, but only releasing singles is not always the best choice, and I do hope that their next release will be an EP of some sort. Probably the debut on this list with the most mixed reactions, but can I just say Ring Ring is easily my favorite song on this album. Unlike most people, the song was an instant hit for me. The unsettling tone, the awkward dynamics, the unexpected twists, and the sudden starts and stops, everything the song did left me absolutely reeling, and I loved every second of it. Maybe I'm crazy because I haven't heard much, but doesn't this song also kind of have a J-pop feel to it? I'm not sure if it's the song or the concept or a mixture of both, but it is for sure there. I've also seen a lot of complaints about the mixing, and while I couldn't tell you if it was intentional or not, I do think it only aided in giving the song its sinister feel. The EP itself was also filled with interesting songs, which gives me hope that this wasn't just a one-time thing, and we can continue to get music like this from them because God knows we need something like Billlie on the scene. Wow, where to even begin with these guys? I just want to start off by saying that I am such a metalhead and I am a sucker for all things rock and rock inspired. So yes, everything I am about to say is extremely biased. However, as someone that has listened to music like this pretty much their whole life, can I just say that this still impressed me. I love K-bands in the way that as a collective whole, they filled their own little niche in the sound of rock and indie genres, but I also love when bands will stay true to their roots like this. This song reminds me of a mix of I Don't Know How But They Found Me, Iceland Kills, and maybe a little bit of Palais Royale. I don't know how, but it's definitely there, and I love them for that. I also really like how they were allowed to go this pretty edgy route in their song and lyrics, despite the fact that they seem like they're going to be promoted more as an idol group than anything. I know all I have is comparisons, but it really does give off the fastest way to a girl's heart is through a ribcage sort of vibes, especially in the lyrical department, and maybe that's just trying to make comparisons, but both these songs are so interesting and fun and so cool. Seriously, just the pure chaos the song gives off is such a fun time, and I'm living for it. My only complaint is, once again, it is just a single. However, rather than being worried for them like I am for Ichillin, because I have no doubt a company like JYP has the resources to create an album for them in the future, it's rather the fact that this song is so good, I'm disappointed there's nothing else to latch onto. I'm scared we won't get this sound again the next comeback, and I really enjoyed it. They're the only group on this list that I'm truly scared of where they'll go next musically, because after this we could get anything, and it's either going to be really really good or really really bad.
So bright, 좋아. 모든 빛을 쏟아내는
I could never get into e.so despite the girls having such a solid discography, simply because, well, I really dislike project groups such as these. However, now that these girls don't have that glowing neon sign above their head, blinding me from everything else, I can see how talented these girls really are and how much potential they have going into their own careers. Although Yuri's Classy was by far my favorite out of these, I am still excited for what the other two have in store. While Eunbi is clearly an extremely talented vocalist, Door felt more like a song created to show off what Eunbi can do, rather than just being a good song, which I feel like would have been better for a debut. I love when a singer can show off like this in a song. However, when you have a song driven by vocals like this, especially from just one person, if the instrumental doesn't pick up, it can become tiring. I love this jazzy sound, I just wish there was more to it. That being said, I'm really excited to see more from her. I's debut, I also have mixed feelings on. It's a good song, yet it feels like something is missing. The chorus feels more like a pre-chorus, almost like it's leading up to something that never happens, just to fall right back into the verses. The change in pace was interesting the first time, but since this whole song was sort of on a crescendo, having it happen again felt like the song was derailing even more. And to top it all off, the song is barely 3 minutes long, and since there wasn't really any big booming parts, it all just left me wishing there was at least one big flare at the end, which we didn't get. However, I do see the potential in them, and the more I listen to the song, the more I like it, so I really am excited to see what they have next, and I cannot wait to see them find their own sound. Now on to Glassy. I already said I love this song so much. It's cute, it's fun, it's cool, it's catchy. Airy vocals complement the fluttering melody perfectly, and I love that this song has this chic, sleek feel to it while still landing on the cuter side of K-pop. It's a simple song with a catchy melody, and it almost reminds me of something Oh My Girl would have released in their earlier days. I am most excited to see more from her, and cannot wait to see what she has in store for us.
나의 두